Greetings everyone, and I hope you're all shipshape and bristle fashion out there in collecting land, and welcome back to the channel for another Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today it's the turn of a genuine grail and what is widely hailed as a bit of a classic. Yes, it's none other than the DX13, Hot Toys take on the battle damaged T800 Terminator, as played by Arnold Schwarzenegger in James Cameron's masterpiece that is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I think hailed by the public and film critics on its release as a bit of a milestone in modern cinema. And, interestingly enough, the third highest grossing film of all time. The review will take the usual format. We'll have a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories that come with the T800 figure. And as always, we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end, where we may have to reintroduce the T800 to some of his old friends and his old foes. But before we get into it, the usual roundup of shout-outs and background. Firstly, a massive thank you to everyone who's subscribed and supported the channel since it first started. We're coming up on our first anniversary, and we'll be doing something really special for that. But I have to say, to all of you out there who've subscribed, you're all heroes, one and all. And to those of you watching the channel who haven't subscribed, come on, stow that indecision. Hit that button, that bell notification icon, that subscribe button, and come and join us at the 1/6 scale party. Admission is cost and pain free, and you'll be helping Go Figure to keep doing what it's doing. And as an added bonus, you can bathe in the warm light of self-satisfaction that comes from knowing that you've helped an old collector safely across the 1/6 scale highway. So, this is an old figure. Let's get that out of the way to start with. This figure, I think, was initially released, oh crikey, if memory serves me well, this is a good 11 or 12 years old. The reason we're reviewing it now is, one, we haven't reviewed it on the channel already, but also I think over the past couple of weeks we have seen an absolutely huge amount of Hot Toys announcements. There's been pre-orders, there's been artisan pieces announced, and also amongst them, these may have slipped some people's attention, but they actually snuck in a few prototypes in there as well. And one of those prototypes was for another version of this particular piece, the battle damaged T800. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see if that's as and when that's going to be officially announced and released. So I thought, sort of in conjunction with that, we would sort of have a bit of a retro review of the original piece itself. They also announced a Jungle Hunter Predator, I believe, as well, a version 2 of that. So whether that's an artisan piece or just a version 2 will also, time will tell, I suppose. But yeah, in conjunction with that as well, we'll be taking a look at the original classic Jungle Hunter Predator on the channel very, very soon indeed as well. So, background. Well, we've covered most of it really there, haven't we? I mean, I'm not going to bang on too much about the background of this piece. It's pretty much slipped into the annals of 1/6 scale collecting history. And even today, 11, 12 years down the line, I think it's alongside things like the MMS 117 and the MMS 136, still to be considered pretty much the benchmark for 1/6 scale Terminator figures. Similarly, I'm not going to bang on about the movie too much. Suffice it to say, it's a stone cold classic. So let's take a look at this box, and I'm going to get this out the way straight away. I've been collecting for a number of years, and these boxes make me quite sentimental in my old age. I yearn for the days when Hot Toys produced DX figures like this, and they came packaged like this. Unfortunately, these days, even with, I mean, they don't do DX figures that much, but even with sort of the deluxe sets that they're releasing these days, we're seeing thin card and thin plastic clamshells. So it's, I do like these old DX boxes. They really do smack of class, and you feel like you've got something in front of you that's really, really special, shall we say. So yeah, let's have a quick look around this enormous box. It's this super high quality card that's been coated to look like leather. I'm not sure whether it's a vinyl coating, but it just gives it a really, really premium feel. Across the front here, it's very, very simple design. It's just this sort of black leather effect with these with this battle damage, but almost like bullet holes in it. There's some reddening around there, possibly to simulate maybe a little bit of blood. Then you've got T2 in this high gloss black lettering in the centre. Down at the bottom here, Terminator 2 Judgement Day embossed into the front cover. In this high gloss silver lettering, foil lettering, you've got T800 Battle Damaged version. Bottom left hand corner, Hot Toys DX. Bottom right hand corner, Sideshow Collectibles, Studio Canal, and in the centre there, DX13 1/6 scale collectible figure. Let's flip this enormous box around. Let's even manhandle it and get the sides into shot as well. Let's see what we're looking at here. Once it's relatively simple. It says T800 Battle Damage version on the side there in that same silver foil lettering, DX13 at the bottom. Not much on this side other than the two clasps here. It's a magnetically clasped box. There's nothing on the bottom and on the top of this box. Nothing to see there. No, nothing there either. We'll bring it around and take a quick look at the back. Once again, relatively simple. This is just actually a sticker that's put over the top of the box, and it's got all the information on there. It says DX at the top, you've got the barcode at the bottom, and there's all the credits and warnings. Don't piss this figure off, or it will be back. And judging by what Hot Toys have just announced, it most definitely will be back. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, we'll take a quick look inside this box actually as well, because I'm just going to have some box nostalgia here for a moment. As I mentioned, it's got these magnetic clasps on either side, and it's very similar to the Joker boxes, etc., that came out around that period. But what you've got inside, if the camera can actually pick this up, is this beautifully designed interior. On the inside here, there's a continuation of that, obviously of those holes from the other side. Then you've got this sort of red strip here across the centre. It says T800. And I'll bring this round if we can get all of this into shot. Then you've got this foam cover that's, this foam inlay cover, which is actually topped with card. Now, Hot Toys did this with a lot of the figures. They did it with the Joker figure where it was a card, and they've actually put this inlay in here which actually comes out. Now on this inlay card itself, and I'll try and slide this out and get this into camera, is this what I'm assuming is pleather. I'm sure if there's anybody out there who knows whether this actually pleather or whether they can correct me. I'm assuming it's pleather, but it's a strip of pleather designed to look like a sample that's been taken from the T800's Battle Damaged jacket, and it's got the bullet holes in there, and yeah, just a nice little touch there, and that slots in the centre of your front panel there. You lift this panel off, and inside, obviously, is where the figure itself sits. Obviously not a brand new figure to me. I've had this for quite some time in the collection, but yeah, there you have it. That lovely nostalgic DX box from Hot Toys. So yeah, that's enough of the box. So we'll do what we always do. We will dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with your T800 figure. Okay, so here we are, down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Hot Toys Battle Damaged T800, and there's a lot to go at here, so we'll crack on. We'll start with the hands as we always do. You know me and my hands. There's a pair already on the figure. We'll take a quick look at those when we bring the figure out. We've got another 5 hands here. Let's grab a couple at random and see what kind of quality we're looking at here. There's all kinds of things from fisted hands to the thumbs up hand to trigger hands, all kinds of stuff. But we'll, as I say, grab a couple at random and take a close-up look. So, what kind of quality are we looking at here? Well, the sculpt is very good indeed. I mean, I'm probably going to end up saying this a few times in this review, but for an 11, 12-year-old figure, it's holding up pretty well. The sculpt on these gloves is really, really good. You've got creases in there. There's seam lines in there. The sculpt itself is really good. There's creases into the wrist area. What really makes this stand out in the sculpt is the ripped areas of the gloves. There's fingers torn off, knuckles are torn off. The back of the hand is torn off as well. All manner of rips and tears in there, exposing the flesh underneath, which is cut, and there's that blood effect paint, that high gloss blood effect paint, not only on the cuts themselves, but actually if the camera's catching this, they're actually on the simulated leather from the paintwork there. The tip of the finger is missing here. Just the attention to detail is phenomenal here. The sculpt is great. The paint applications are great, particularly on the silver sections of the endoskeleton that's actually starting to come through. Just really well done, as I say. Something you're going to hear more of in this review. But yeah, for an 11-year-old figure, very impressive. We'll take a look at this thumbs up hand. Same story here. Great sculpt, great paint applications to simulate leather, and that battle damage is really, really well done and well painted. So yeah, that's the hand, and off to a good start. So we'll put those to one side. We'll get some of the bigger stuff out of the way. We'll take a look at this base. It comes with the Hot Toys base from that period, which will be recognisable to a lot of people. The Batman figures, the Joker figures, etc., all pretty much came with a similar base. All plastic. What you've got, not much to look at on the bottom here. There's no felt feet. It would have been nice to have seen those, but it is what it is. The top part of the stand itself is this sort of plastic grill that's been painted to look like weathered metal, obviously to simulate the foundry at the end of the movie. Paint applications are really nice. You've got browns on here and oranges to sort of simulate rust. On the front of the stand itself is the usual DX nameplate. This is metal. It says Terminator 2 T800 on it. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that it's still got the plastic cover on it. I am quite OCD in these things. When I get a stand with these plastic covers on, it's a bit like a new mobile phone. I have a tendency to leave them on as long as possible before they fall off. And this one's still on there and still holding up after 11 or 12 years. But yeah, relatively straightforward base, as I say, all plastic. It does have a light-up feature. On the back here is a battery compartment. You simply unscrew this battery compartment, insert 3 AAA batteries. There is a switch on the back here. You throw that switch and you have... Now, I'm not going to hold these in camera because this is one of the features of this, and if I shake it a little bit, sometimes it goes away. One of the features of this particular figure that's not held up very, very well are these spotlights here, these movable spotlights. As you can see, over the years, they've developed a flicker. Now, I've not used these. I've very rarely used these, so this is simply down to old age. Occasionally, with a tap, they do have a tendency to go off. Like I say, I'm not going to hold these into the camera too much because I don't want to dazzle anybody. Yeah, the LEDs in here haven't stood the test of time very well, but not an issue for me because it's not a feature I use in the display. But yeah. So that's the stand. Comes with a standard issue crotch grabber. Well, I say standard issue. It's one of those that collectors will recognise that's angled at 30 degrees or so, something along those lines, and it simply slots in the back section there behind the grille. And yeah, that's your display stand. So very nice it is too, apart from the strobing effect. So we'll put that to one side. We'll take a look at this now. We'll get this big piece out of the way now. Is the liquid metal T1000 now? All these T800 figures from Hot Toys came with this. There was a special version, a deluxe version with a bonus part, which was a swap out head, which was actually a Robert Patrick swap out head if you wanted to use that. This comes with a more neutral head. Now, this piece hasn't stood the test of time, as you can see very well. Now, I am assuming I didn't get this piece from new, unfortunately. I picked this up from another collector, and unfortunately it came to me like this. And it looks like over the years, to me it looks like where this figure has been handled, this chrome paint has dulled and then eventually started to rub off, and it looks like it's been held there. Now, it's on my list of things to rectify. It's a very, very simple job. It just needs the rest of the paint stripping off and then a new coat of chrome paint on the top. And this isn't something that I use in the display. However, yeah, it hasn't stood the test of time very well here. So if you do have this figure in your collection, you've probably encountered this. Or it's not one of those pieces that stood up well to being handled over time. Yeah, if it's something you're wanting to use in your display, it's great for if you're wanting to replicate the sequence where he attempts to punch the T1000 and then the T1000 sort of liquefies around his fist. Then that's great. It's not something I use in the display though, but it is on my list of things to mod or to salvage But as I say, not a difficult job. But yeah, that's the liquid metal T1000. We'll put that to one side. Let's take a quick look at the weapons. Now, you know me, I am no gun expert, so I'm not going to even attempt to classify these weapons, but we'll just start with the handgun first. The screen accuracy is on point to me. It's that combination of black and silver. Try and get this into shot. Paint applications are nice. The sculpt looks screen accurate. It's got a cocking action on the top there. The hammer moves as well with that cocking action. Paint applications are really nice. There's a little bit of silver dry brushing on the black areas to give it a little bit of weathering. I'm not sure whether this is a removable magazine, to be honest with you. I will double check. It doesn't look like this is a removable magazine. No, and I don't want to force that. But yeah, no removable magazine here, but a cocking action. But yeah, nice sculpt, nice paint applications. Once again, considering its age, it's stood up very, very well. Yeah, so that's the handgun. We'll take a look at the assault rifle. Now, I believe this is an SR16 M4. That's the only reason I'm saying that is because that's what it says on the side. But once again, all one piece of sculpted plastic. Looks screen accurate to me. Looks like it's got a suppressor on the front there. The detailing is really, really nice. As I mentioned before, there's some writing on the side there. You've also got the semi-safety and auto switch there, which you can, if I can get that into shot, you can actually make out the writing on there. There's a strap on here, which feels like a canvas or a man-made material, might be a nylon. There's a removable clip, now he said confidently. Let's see if we can't get there. There we go. The clip comes out and you have got some painted bullets on the inside. We'll pop that back in, and I believe there is a section that actually falls down at the side here. I think it's possibly this section, if I can get my nail in there. Yeah, where the cartridges are rejected, that comes down as well. And also the stock extends. It does have a... Now... this is not just this one, I don't think. I think this was common with a lot of the weapons of this particular... There is a slight bowing going on with this rifle. I don't pose him with this one, so it's not an issue to me. And it looks like it's just... I don't know whether it's... I don't know whether that's an age thing or it was like that from new. But when the stock extends, it really does accentuate that it's not perfectly straight. But yeah, it is what it is. It's a minor niggle, and when that stock's back in, you don't really notice anyway. So yeah, that's the assault rifle. Finally, for the weapons, you get the grenade launcher. Once again, all one piece of sculpted plastic, very nicely done. The stock on the on here is really nicely painted to give it that wood effect. Not quite sure what's going on at the end here with this sort of gnarled up look. And there's some, I'm not sure whether I don't recall that being in the film, but I'm sure someone will correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong. Not sure what that's all about at the end there, but overall, yeah, the sculpt is really nice. There's some silver dry brushing on the barrel there to give it some slight weathering. It actually has a cocking action, and I'll try and do this. Be very careful here because it's quite a flimsy piece of plastic there that you move to one side. And the whole thing will open up, so you can pop a grenade in there, or you can have him loading it, in a pose loading it, which is a nice little touch, and it fastens like that. There's a sight that pops up if you're wanting to use that, and the strap, once again, this is a canvas stroke nylon strap attached by what feels like plastic clips there. Yeah, they feel like plastic clips. So yeah, that's the grenade launcher. We'll take a look at the bandolier as well to go with that grenade launcher. Canvas and plastic or polyester again, metal clasps on here, metal buckles, which is nice to see. And then the actual the holder for the grenades themselves is actually pleather. And then you get quite a lot. You get this entire container of grenades. Don't use them all myself, but I've got a few to hand here. Now they're all plastic. And they've got this sort of copper and silver paint application to give them that metallic look. And you can put as many or as few into the bandolier. You just simply slot them in like that and put as many or as few in as you want and drape it over his shoulders. So yeah, that's the bandolier to go with the grenade launcher. Put that to one side. Put the grenades as well over there. You get this swap out arm. Now, probably best to talk about this in conjunction with this second leather jacket here. Well, we'll talk about the jacket first, actually. Figure comes with two leather jackets in inverted commas. Now, these are pleather, I believe, and once again, I'm going to get into the conversation here about pleather and it aging, but this one's going to call me a liar. I don't use this swap out jacket on the figure. Simply because the jackets themselves are not the easiest thing in the world to swap out, and with them being pleather, and this is actually probably the first time this has been out of this this box. As you can see, it's still holding its shape from storage. Yeah, this arm itself is to be used in conjunction with this jacket. The jacket that's already on the figure has complete arms, although it has some battle damage. It is not missing this sleeve here. But we'll take a look at this jacket anyway, and as I say, it's I believe it to be pleather, and straight away, for a jacket that is 11, 12 years old, made out of pleather, I have to say, is holding up very, very well indeed. In fact, it's holding up incredibly well. I have got figures less than half this age where Hot Toys have used pleather, where literally they have fallen apart. So this is actually holding up exceptionally well. The stitch work is really nice. You've got 6-scale zips in there. The buttons are really, really well done. There's weathering all over it in the collar area with these grey sort of paint applications. There are rips, there are tears. It's nicely lined. It's got this sort of man-made fibre lining. The belts are really well done. The buckles on the belts on the bottom of the jacket are metal. But yeah, overall, it's really, really nicely done. And I know that's a strange thing to say about pleather because, you know, regulars to my channel will know my thoughts and feelings on pleather. But for a pleather jacket of this age to be holding up this well is a testament to the quality of the pleather that's been used. So yeah, there you have it. That's the swap out jacket. We'll take a look at the alternate jacket that's on the figure when we bring the figure out. So yeah, as I mentioned, that jacket is to be used in conjunction with this damaged arm, which is the left arm. Now it's simply a case of swapping out the jackets when the jacket is off, popping the arm off, and it's got this this joint here, which with a peg on it, which simply slots on. And you can replace the completed arm with this severed arm. And the paint applications and sculpt here are really, really nice. It's all plastic, but the metal, the paint they've done on the metal pistons and metal sections here to give it that sort of bloodied look, but still metallic, are really, really nice. The screen accuracy is on point as far as I can tell. These are very delicate, so I would recommend handling with caution. These would snap quite easily, so yeah, if you have this figure or thinking of sourcing it, I would say be very, very careful. But yeah, the blood paint applications where the flesh has been torn away are really nicely done. The skin texturing paintwork, and there's even vein work in this section of arm as well. So yeah, if you're wanting to go for that fully battle damage look, then it's simply a case of removing the jacket, which is easier said than done, and popping this arm on and then putting this this jacket on top. So yeah, that's the battle damage leather jacket, sorry, pleather jacket and arm. What else do you get? You also get this, I'm going to describe this, metal pole, metal stake, for want of a better expression. Obviously, this is the piece of metal the T800 picks up and tries to slice the T1000 in half with, and for his troubles ends up impaled on it and then has to remove it from himself. All one piece of sculpted plastic. Some nice paint applications on there to give it that metallic look. There's some silver dry brushing, and yeah, it is what it is. And I believe he also used it as a walking stick towards the end of the film as well. So yeah, if you're wanting to use that in the display, you have that option as well. Finally, let's take a look at these head sculpts. Now, it comes with two head sculpts, this figure, and both battle damage, but sort of increasing levels of battle damage. So have these head sculpts stood the test of time? Well, let's find out. Let's take a look at the slightly less battle damaged one first of all. Probably my preferred of the two. Now let's just see if we can't alter this light a little bit so we can get some more light on this. I'm just going to bring these lights in, and I'm going to fall foul again of that phrase. What an amazing head sculpt for 11, 12 years old. It's most certainly still stands up today. The sculpt is it absolutely 100%? No. Is it 99.9% there? Yes, absolutely. From pretty much every angle. I cannot fault this head sculpt. The paint applications are phenomenal. There's a little bit of shadowing around the chin area there. The expression that they've chosen is great. There are crow's feet around the eyes if the camera's catching that. The paint application on the hair is really, really well done. The hairstyle is absolutely spot on. There's shading in that hair to give it depth. The eyes are the right colour and glassy. You've got that furrowing in the eyebrow there. I think, yeah, as I say, I'm going to say it again, for an 11, 12-year-old figure, that head sculpt is really, really amazing and still holds its own today. The battle damage on this side of the head, with some of the hair missing there, you've got the flesh has been torn away over the eye and in the forehead area and at the cheek area, and you've got that metal coming through, which is really nicely painted. The silver paint applications there are great to give it that metallic look. Once again, you've got that bloodied paint work. Yeah, and then on this side you've got these little bits of battle damage as well, just to augment that. But I have to say, overall, for its age, a phenomenal head sculpt. Also, this has got the moving eyeball system, so the back of the hair comes off, and it's worthy of note at this point as well. There is a seam line there. The camera's catching that. There's a seam line from the back where this section of the head comes off. It wasn't a perfect solution, this, but it was the best one at the time. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think, very rarely do we look at our figures from the back. That is just not noticeable from the sides or from the front. It's only really when you look at it from the back. But yeah, it's magnetized, so this section comes off. And what you've got is a joystick at the back here, which moves both eyes simultaneously. So as you can see there, both eyes will move from side to side, up and down, yeah, it's fantastic to see that. So it's not an ideal solution, but having them both moving using one joystick, and I recently reviewed the InArt, the Batman figure. And that moving eyeball system was not ideal, and here are Hot Toys 11, 12 years earlier coming up with a much better solution. Admittedly, you've got to go in through the back of the head, which you don't have to do with the InArt version, but it is that much easier and that much better to have them both, I think, working off one joystick rather than having two and ending up with a goofy look with one eye going one way and one eye going the other. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling on about the PERS system. Okay, so that's the first head sculpt. Let's take a look at the slightly more battle damaged head sculpt. And once again, it's the same level. It's the same high level of paint applications and sculpt here. It's pretty much based on the first head sculpt. There's no real differences in the flesh tones. It might be ever so slightly lighter if the camera's picking that up, but overall, pretty much the same level of skin detailing. The battle damage is slightly different on this side. On this head sculpt, there are more scratches here, although these two areas do correspond, but there are some scratches here. Once again, you've got that 5 o'clock shadow, the crow's feet, all the features on the face. Not until you come around to this side that you see the extra damage here, where the eye's fully exposed, where the pistons in the cheeks are exposed. Pretty much all the flesh on the right hand side of the face has come away completely. You've got blood on the ear section here. That exposed part of the cranium is far larger on here, and there's far more hair missing. But once again, you've got that high gloss blood paintwork, and yeah, just a fantastic head sculpt. And really, it's difficult to pick which is my favourite. I like them both. I think it depends on what look you're going for in your display, and what stage of the film you're wanting to set the scene for. But both absolutely spot on, or 99.9% spot on. As with the other one, this has a removable section at the back, a magnetised removable section, and this one has a piece of battle damage in it as well. Part of the cranium's missing at the back, part of the skull's missing at the back there, and once again you can see the exposed metal work there, just really well done. This section pops off, it's magnetised once again. You've only got the one moving eyeball this time, obviously because this one is static, because it's the exposed the exposed eye itself from the endoskeleton, and it comes with this tool which you simply insert into the back there, into that ball section, and if you just move it around, you can move the eye into any particular position you want. So yeah, that's the also worthy of note at this point as well, a couple of button cell batteries in that section which you remove from using a very small screwdriver there. Flip that. And by some miracle, I believe this eye is still working, yeah. Now, those batteries have been in there quite some time. I normally take batteries out when I'm not using the actual feature itself, simply because you don't want them leaking inside. But these are old batteries, and that is still quite bright, considering its age. So yeah, the light up feature in the eye there as well, if you're wanting to use it in the display. So yeah, there you have it. That's both head sculpts. So that's everything that comes with the figure itself. So without further ado, let's bring out the T800 himself. Let's have a look at him overall. Let's get one of these head sculpts on him, get him onto the stand, onto the turntable, and find out whether he's stood the test of time. Okay, so here he is, onto the stand, onto the turntable. It's the Battle Damaged T800. Now, as I mentioned at the top there, I've had this this figure in the collection for a number of years, and so I can't give first impressions, but with the risk of sounding like a broken record, I can give 1,000th, 2,000th impressions, and I still think absolutely 100% yes, this figure has stood the test of time. I think it really, really is a testament to Hot Toys that this piece still stands up today. But we'll do what we always do. We'll have a quick once-over. We'll start at the bottom, work our way up. Let's stop him from spinning before the gush fest starts, and we'll have a quick close-up look at him. But yeah, as I say, a phenomenal piece from the get-go. But yeah, let's get him off the stand, into shot, and work our way up now. I'm going to make this brief because what hasn't already been said about this figure, you could probably put on a very, very small postage stamp. But yeah, boots, really, really nicely done, screen accurate, biker boots with with some fantastic weathering on there. The buckles are on there, the heels are in proportion. You've got grip on the bottom of here. Soles have been weathered as well with some silver dry brushing. Now this outfit is pleather, and as you can see, it has stood the test of time phenomenally well. As I mentioned before, I've got figures a third the age of this that have been made out of pleather that are literally falling apart. All I can assume is that the pleather itself was of a higher quality back then. But I'm sure if I'm wrong on that one, someone will correct me. But yeah, the body, it feels fantastic. It's got some real heft to it. The pleather has been sculpted really, really well and stitched really, really well. The screen accuracy is there with the stitch work in the knees there. The zips are sculpted into the sides here, are really, really nicely done, if I can get that into shot. This exposed section here in the leg, not only is it incredibly screen accurate, it's just really, really well done with the rips in the pleather themselves. The functioning knee joint there is really, really nicely done. The metal, although it is plastic under there, I believe, it's been really, really well painted and sculpted. You've got exposed flesh here with the blood effect paint on there, and the blood effect paint has actually continued to give that wet look to the pleather, and it even runs down the leg itself here. Just really, really well done. We'll flip it round to the back. Once again, the stitch work on this pleather is absolutely spot on. The screen accuracy is most certainly there. It's nailed on. It looks like leather. It even feels like leather, obviously, though it is faux leather. And there's weathering on here on the backs of these leather pants. Moving up, we'll just take a quick look underneath this pleather jacket. And as I said, this is the second of the two leather jackets, the one with the completed arm here. Now, Underneath here, you've got this this horrendous wound in the chest area, which looks absolutely spot on. The t-shirt itself is a sort of a dark grey, and it's made out of cotton material. Really nice stitch work. Colour is screen accurate. This wound is very, very screen accurate. Very well done indeed. Once again, that blood effect paint, the ripped flesh, the metal underneath, all absolutely nailed on, and you know, look great today by today's standards. Never mind 10, 11 years, 12 years ago. The belt around the top here is, I believe, is pleather as well, and there's no deterioration there at all. The buckle is metal. I've yet to find anywhere on this figure where the pleather is starting to go. Yeah, the tassels on the jacket, the zips on the jacket, all really well sculpted. You've got battle damage in the zips, battle damage in the collar itself. I'll get that into shot. We'll actually drop it down a little bit here. Just fantastic. The proportions, spot on. They're nailed on at 100%. The bullet holes in the back here, really, really well done. There are bullet holes in the arms. The sculpted zips at the end of the sleeves, absolutely spot on. Yeah, just absolutely nailed on. I can't really say anything else. It is deserving, I think, of its classic status, and as most things that are a classic, it will oft get imitated, and we have seen a number of companies attempt to do this figure, some using real leather, but I still think, especially when we come up to this head sculpt, both of these head sculpts, we're looking at something here that really is a genuine classic. I'm going to move this camera back so I can get him in a little bit more up close, and there we go. That head sculpt is just on point, even down to the sculpting in the neck area here of more battle damage. You've got sort of bullet holes in the neck that run all the way up there. The proportions absolutely spot on. A full excellent range of motion here because it's just that one ball joint, but it really, you can go to town here with the posing and catching those angles that capture the scenes from the film. So yeah, phenomenal head sculpts. And considering it's pleather, an amazing outfit. The body is really well articulated. I will say it's a little bit janky here, but this is the swap out arm area. That's got a little bit loose over the years, but I think that's probably to be expected when you've got a swap out elbow joint. But overall, the joints are nice and firm. They haven't loosened in any way. You've got a great range of motion here. I don't go for a particularly dynamic posing with this, obviously because of the pleather. We don't want to put it under any more stress than it's already under. But yeah, overall, even down to these aren't sculpted. These are actually real cords in the side of the jacket here with real holes. Everything is absolutely nailed on. So yeah, there you have it. Let's pop him back on the... Well, actually, let's just swap out these head sculpts just so we can get an idea of what he looks like with the slightly less battle damaged head sculpt on. And yeah, relatively easy swap out, he said with confidence. And yeah, there you have it with the second of the two head sculpts. I really don't know which one I prefer here. I love them both. I think they're both phenomenal. Let's get him back on the stand and go in for final thoughts on this one. I think you know where this is going. We'll get him spinning again and get this camera arranged so we've got him all in shot properly. So, final thoughts on this guy. Well, yeah, 11, 12 years old. I've said it several times in this video, but it bears repeating. Yeah, it has stood the test of time and stood it well. It is. I'm coming across figures from Hot Toys. I won't name names, but I've had figures recently from Hot Toys that aren't made to the same standard as this, which I will leave you to decide what that says about Hot Toys. I think proportions, fantastic outfit, 100% nailed on. The only downside is pleather, but the pleather is doing really, really well. The screen accuracy, completely on point. The accessories, nailed on. Head sculpts, well, they speak for themselves. So, you know, there you have it. That is the DX13, the Battle Damaged T800 in all its glory. Is it worthy of its grail status? Absolutely, 100%. Will it be interesting to see whether they do actually release that version 2? 100% as well. Would I consider getting it? Probably yes, simply because I am a huge Terminator 2 fan, but that's just me. So there you have it. Yeah, that's this review all wrapped up. I hope it's been useful for you. Is it something you've got in your collection? Please drop a comment in the comment section below. I'd be fascinated to hear. Is it something that you're looking forward to and hoping that Hot Toys do go into production with the prototype of the version 2 of this? What are your thoughts on Hot Toys quality? How that's changed, if it has changed over the years. What are your thoughts on this figure? Anything at all, please. I would be really, really interested to hear, so drop a comment in the comment section below. And I suppose all it remains for me to say is, well, a quick roundup of what's coming up on the channel, as we always do. And we've got a raft of stuff coming in, so what's coming in the What 6 scale world? Well, we've got the Caustic Plastic Horror of Dracula Deluxe Twin Pack. That should be with us soon. We've got the Org Toys Duke Leto from June to go with the Gurney Hallett that we reviewed recently on the channel. The Mondo McCready from The Thing. That's due in the next few weeks. What else? Blitzway Astro Boy version 2. Premier Toys Doof Warrior from Mad Max Fury Road. One that's actually I know on its way to us is the Hot Toys Deadpool. We've got an early release on that one, so that'll be going straight in front of the camera as soon as it arrives. That's the from Deadpool and Wolverine. A shed load of Present Toys stuff coming up. A shed load of NECA in the 1/10 scale world. We've also got the Paul Atreides, Prime 1 and Blitzway 1/4 scale statue coming in as well. That's coming up for review. And we're also, as well, we're going to be doing a third part to our collection room tour. Now, I thought we'd covered everything in the first 2 parts, but I've had a few requests in from subscribers to actually put in context what they were seeing. In other words, the wider shots, the outtakes, so they could see the whole the collection as a whole and how it displays as a whole. So it'll be a relatively short video, but that one's coming up very soon as well. So with all that out of the way, all it remains for me to say is I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope you've enjoyed revisiting this classic figure as much as I have. And all it remains for me to say is thank you for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe and bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And from me and from the now infamous DX13, take care of yourselves. Happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.